All right, you're still watching Today with John and Helen live on Plus TV Africa. We are being joined right now by a hands-on leader, an engaging speaker, a well-traveled C-suite professional, highly regarded for his relationship management experience in Canada, Nigeria, and the emerging economies. Popularly known as the bridge builder, our guest, Lawrence Mba, has over 30 years postgraduate experience in general management, MBA, from one of Europe's Ivy League business schools. A firm believer in giving back to society and community, our guest is a volunteer, a mentor, an astute negotiator, and Knight of St. John's International. I love that. Lawrence Mba is founder CEO Waka Community Foundation, and we shall be working for fitness in the next 25 minutes or so, sitting here in conversation, with the gentleman. Thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hello.
And it's
Hi.
my singular honor to have Lawrence Mba, with us today. I've followed your Waka community. As a matter of fact, he made me join the Waka community a few days ago. So let's see what we can do about that. We have lost a bit of time, so we want to dive straight into the questions.
Excellent.
Like they say everywhere we go, ladies first after gentlemen. So I'll take the question first.
Okay, after the gentleman.
Yes, ladies first after gentlemen.
I hear you. You got me confused there. I was just ready to go.
Now take us through how all of this started. What really got you motivated into starting a community that works for fitness? Hey, come on.
Okay, excellent. I have always kept fit, but I was doing it pretty much on a low scale. Then at some point, 3 years ago, one of my sisters had said to me that she thought I was being selfish with my gift and my knowledge, that I should give myself to the world. And I said, no, I didn't want any of those. I wanted to live my private life and be happy with it. But, I realized that at some point in life, it's no more about you.
Sure.
It's about your community. It's about legacies. And so that's what led to Waka Community International starting. And as I speak, we are in 46 countries in 31 months.
Wow.
So we must be doing something right.
46 countries.
Yes, ma'am. 46 countries in 31 months. And we've grown organically, month on month, by, the last time I checked, 150 people, new members every month on Facebook alone. Okay. We also have members on Instagram, on Twitter, now called X, on TikTok. We have a website. We're building an app.
Okay.
We're close to launching it. I shouldn't say much about that right now.
Yeah.
So actually, the community has been hungry, or is always hungry, for someone to just step up and lead them in, especially this area of health. Because a lot of people are mouthing, you need to stay healthy, but getting started, is a problem. And when there is a community, when you have more people, it makes it a bit easier, I want to believe. So as a C-level executive, how do you integrate your passion for health and wellness into your leadership style and company culture?
Thank you very much for that very loaded question. Health is the ultimate wealth.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be healthy. What I just realized was I needed to have a business model that was going to simplify it. And part of that simplification explains why Waka is simply about 4 basic items. To Waka, to walk,
Yeah.
to eat responsibly in small portions, to hydrate well,
Sufficiently.
2 to 3 liters of fluid, healthy fluid, water, iron drinks every day,
Yeah.
and I must emphasize this, get adequate sleep. Many people underestimate the role sleep plays in our health
Guilty.
regime. Yeah. It's important that we sleep enough. sleep, if we don't sleep enough, you see, we can go without food for a week, you'll be good. You can go without water for a week, your kidneys will start feeling uncomfortable, but if you did hydrate, you'll be good. But if you went without sleep for a week, you'll be dead.
Wow.
You'll be dead. And another thing is, when we don't have enough sleep, our brain cells eat themselves.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let's go a little practical now.
Okay.
I'd want you to share some specific strategies or initiatives that you've complemented with, in organizations that you worked with in organizations to promote physical activity, such as walking programs, and maybe their impact.
Okay. The key thing about walking, beyond being one of the best kept secrets, and beyond not being discriminatory on grounds of age, physical wellness, health, gender, it doesn't really matter. Like we say, everybody can waka, even though not everybody can jog. Walking is a low impact activity, so it's gentle and kind on our knees, on our ankles.
Okay.
So if you're dealing with issues of diabetes, if you have arthritis, if you're a bit overweight, walking is ideal for you. It helps us maintain very good cardiovascular health, helps us with shedding unwanted fat, helps us with maintaining healthy weight. And so, to your question, therefore, when you have a healthy workforce, the productivity goes up, output appreciates, you spend less on Medicare. The consequent savings that you have from not spending on having to medicate people, you can then plow into other productive sectors, like research and development, or inclusiveness of your people. So that's the reason why some organizations have found it worthwhile to partner with Waka, and we're open to many more, to be honest. A Nigeria.
I like the Waka thing, you know.
Yeah, it's our thing. It's us.
Absolutely. Waka is a global brand right now that's being grown out of Africa, out of Nigeria.
Yeah.
So it's ours. There's an affinity to it.
True.
You know.
All right.
Everybody getting own Waka.
You know, and the Waka sometimes is not only the Krukekore Waka. Waka can be anything.
Not just Waka. Not Waka Waka.
Yeah.
No.
But Waka.
Yes. All right. So, in your experience, what role does mindset play in achieving fitness goals, and how do you encourage positive mindset within your teams?
Okay. Keeping fit and staying healthy is a lifestyle. It requires discipline, mindset. It requires persistence, mindset. It requires patience, perseverance, sacrifice, tenacity. You fall 7, get up 8. There are times you don't want to do it, but you got to do it anyways. Okay, so that's about your mindset. You're going to have that discipline. And you've got to be consistent. I can't overemphasize this. Consistency makes all the difference. You can't be a weekend warrior. You can't be an absentee, keep fit, or health conscious individual.
Not once in a month.
Not at all. You've got to be consistent. And that's why we say to people, Waka 30 minutes every day.
Ooh.
You don't need to do more than that. It's a lot easier to Waka 30 minutes every day, 5 days a week. That's the gold standard of 150 minutes every week. Instead of spending 2 hours one day, and the next days you're doing nothing. No, you got to be consistent with it. Okay, and also related to that is that walking helps clear our minds and boosts our moods. So talk mental health, talk mindset.
Yeah.
Walking is it for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll give you a little secret, Helen. You know, I've followed Lawrence Mba for many years, and I've known him to be a top and astute management person. And I know that a lot of things you've done in the past have got to do with maybe change management and all of that. So how do you address resistance to adopting healthy habits? I mean, like regular walking within corporate environments, because people don't want to change.
Okay.
They want to remain in their comfort zones.
True.
John, you don't mind if I say this, but John and I No, we go way back.
Yes.
We go way back to 1987.
That's right.
When I was a young brand manager
That's right.
in what was then Lever Brothers.
Lever Brothers, yes.
Unilever didn't exist at the time. And John was in advertising. Okay? So that's how far back we go. Okay, I won't say more about that. But that's the point. We've always, in marketing and in management, you say what's in it for the person. If you get people to see what's in it for them, they will do it without you being there.
True.
And there's no better way than to illustrate and explain and tell a story and get people to see a picture. Show them what they stand to benefit by being healthy. That's why we're largely altruistic in what we're doing in Waka Community International Foundation, by the way. That's what it is. If they see the benefits, your job is done.
That's the why.
That's the key thing.
Yeah.
They've got to see it, and you've got to make it easy for them to go along with. That's why the model is so simplistic and so broken down into 4 basic things. Just Waka, 30 minutes a day. You don't have to go and invest in a fancy gym. You don't have to invest in fancy clothes. Waka in anything you wear. As a matter of fact, if you can Waka bare feet, that's even better. There's something called earthing or grounding, which says to you, walk, when you're mowing your lawns, for those that have lawns, walk bare feet. When you're on the beach, walk bare feet. The organs of the body are situated on the sole of the feet. And so if you get to understand that, you're good.
You know the new things just coming in. Remember Dr. Ejewere, at his place, it's a muddy place. It's a lot of mud and a lot of sea sand. And once you get there, you take off all your shoes and you are in them for as long as you can stay. So all of these add up. You talked about sleep. You can die if you lose sleep for 8 days. How many hours of sleep do we need? Considering our environment. Lagos, for example, there are people who wake up at 5 a.m. and they are supposed to be at work for 7. And by 10, 11, 12, sometimes 1, they are just getting back home. How do you find
it's more like how much sleep can you get?
How much sleep can you get?
Ideally, depending on your age, and for people who are 30, 35 and above, you require 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Every day. I understand the challenges with living in this environment and operating here, but there are things called power naps.
Okay.
So when you're in traffic, heading for work, you can power nap. Power naps are reinvigorating.
Those are also added to the 7 or 8 hours.
Absolutely, because it's the sleep that you need.
Okay.
But if you can do straight 6 hours of sleep, 7 hours of sleep, you're better off than someone who does just 3 hours of sleep. And again, when you sleep enough, your productivity rises.
True.
You can tell when you're not getting enough sleep.
Yeah,
you're struggling. You do it. So the body needs a break. We Waka and we rest.
Back to Waka. Back to Waka community. Yes.
Right. So, okay, Helen, I was going to let you go for the next one, but let me just ask you. Now, how do you envision the future of the workplace? In view of all we've talked about, we're looking at the Nigerian environment now. How do we get over all of these things? How do we incorporate, these routines into work life, right?
Okay. Design thinking is where we should all begin to place a bit of an emphasis on. Companies should structure, thank goodness, now people can telecommute. You can work from home without losing your productivity and without losing your effectiveness. The more people are able to work from home, the more companies can design rest times, the more they can design leisure periods, the more the ambience is structured in a manner that is not stiff and mechanical, the better you're able to get people to be healthier, to be fitter, to be leaner, and ultimately to be happier. All of those are things that organizations have to start getting more conscious of in the way that they design the environments.
Great.
All right. The times are hard. Finance is a problem. A lot of corporate organizations and what have you are, shedding and trying to come up with strategies that would help them, save money. What advice would you give to executives looking to prioritize employee well-being through initiatives like walking, when they are thinking of the important things, so to speak? This is important, but to some, it's not key. How do you break through with people such as this?
The key thing really is the realization that health is wealth. And when you do that, and also even for the individuals, they've got to see ways to upskill themselves and increase their relevance to whatever organizations that they belong to right now and outside of those organizations. If companies see you as a potential source of drain on their finances because of your unhealthy lifestyle and behaviors and habits, then you're going to drop down on the pecking order. So as companies pay attention to the P&Ls, the top line and the bottom lines, they've also got to pay attention on the things that lead to an increase in output. Healthier people give you better results than they would have if they were not as healthy.
Okay, I want to throw this in. It's a community. Waka is community, I live in Ikeja. If I want to begin to work, someone lives in Ajebule, in Suliri, in Moshe, and all of. How do we become a part of this community?
Fantastic. I did mention that Waka Community International Foundation has members in 46 countries. Because we're in 46 countries, it's humanly impracticable for all of us to be in one location at any point in time. Our model is such that anywhere you are, Waka, and upload the videos, photos, and the stats of your Waka on our platforms, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok.
Wow.
That way, you inspire others. And that way as well, together, we keep changing lives. But ever so often, we get people in smaller groups. That's why we have chapters as well.
Okay.
And then we get people in bigger groups when we have our Wakathons, we call them.
Okay.
Wakathons. And we had one on the 23rd of March in honor of Dr. Ade Alakija, who used to be a member of Waka Community Foundation. We had 570 people in Lekki, Wakaing from Admiralty Way down to Bodilon and back. So that answers the question.
Okay.
So anywhere you are, you're not limited by having to have 10, 15 people Waka with you. So where you are, just Waka and upload it.
Awesome.
Wow. I hear that we have just a couple of minutes to go. And I don't know how time
It's just flying.
Well, you're having fun time.
But I'd like to throw something in. You're looking very fit, very healthy. And when I grow up, I want to be like you.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you for the kind words.
Right?
Yeah, thank you for the
So,
kind words.
and I know that Helen will be green with envy, as she usually is. Could we just get her into the community?
Pot belly here. Envy.
Into the community, right? Let's induct her right away.
Yeah,
so
you see, our doors are open, and we continue to welcome people. We don't discriminate at all. Okay, our youngest member is 14. The oldest that we have is a gentleman who's in the UK, who's 81. In Lagos, the oldest is 73, and he did Waka with us on Saturday, Jerry Okaro. So we don't mind at all. And to join us, all you need to do is go to our website, www.wakacommunity.com, and right there on the top right hand, you will see an icon, Join Now. If you just click on that, it takes you to Facebook and you join. And for those who are not on Facebook,
there you go, Helen.
Yeah, and for those who are not on Facebook or want to be on other platforms, we're on Instagram. It's Waka Community 2. One word, Waka Community 2. On Twitter, now called X, it's Waka Community. On TikTok, it's Carnegie Solutions. And we have a website.
Great.
Okay.
So, everyone desiring to enjoy good health and long life should start working.
Yes, sir.
Make it a lifestyle. I'm inspired. And I want to.
One thing, let me just sneak this in.
Okay.
We are building a wellness app that will reward people for Wakaing.
Wow.
It's good to go. We're just working towards finishing our last checks and all that, making sure no gremlins, there are no bugs, no glitches, and we'll launch it.
Fantastic.
All right.
Fantastic. Thank
If you
so much.
do think deeply, some man who should know said that we must never be sedentary. You know, in fact, the sitting position and the lying down position is the worst place that you should be for a long time. So
Sitting is the new smoking.
Yeah.
Sitting is the new smoking. So don't sit for too long. And there's a risk of DVT, deep vein thrombosis, for people that sit for long hours. So all you could do, even if, whether you're in traffic, coming to work, stretch
or
your
whether
legs.
you're in the office once
Whether
in a
you're
while.
in the office, get up after every hour, move
Just
around.
waka and grow.
If you're on a long haul flight, yes. Yeah, there's something called Soleus push-ups, like what I'm doing for those who can see. Just that.
Okay. The soul.
Yes, just doing this is been known to reduce your sugar level.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
So much.
Lawrence,
so much
we understand and appreciate the many gains for the family in staying healthy, especially now. So let's link up with you sometime again. You take us through this routine. We probably have enough. You get more time then, you know, to talk.
That'll be
to
my
us.
pleasure.
Yes.
All right. You know, normally we take you to the gym, you know, we have a gym
Awesome.
instructor
That's
on this show.
fantastic.
But
good.
we have taken almost all of the time. I don't know if the director has,
Then we'll just move on.
so
Can I just mention though that as part of a health regime, as we get older, we need to strength train, resistance train. That's what the gym does. So we Waka and we gym to maintain muscle mass. Because as we get older, our testosterone levels for men starts dropping, okay, and then we're exposed to osteoporosis.
Wow.
And fractures. So you've got to do some resistance training to maintain your muscle mass. And that's what makes you live long. For longevity, you've got to do that. If you do not, it will be a different
You
story.
won me over.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's take a break. After the break, our next guest, the final guest for today, will join us to look at drug use and drug addiction. He has all of the answers and the help that you need. Fathers, mothers, uncles, aunties out there, this is a segment that you must not miss out on. Let's take a break.